Hi, Tracy here with One Blessed Up, and today I get to give you an update on our February 2025 budget for our challenge of whether or not we can live on Social Security if our house is paid off, and can we have a good life on Social Security. So we're going to see how good we do. Now, obviously, I am not eligible for Social Security right now, so this is really just a challenge. But any extra that we can save off of what we make is going to be helpful in preparing for retirement. So hopefully this is helpful, and if it is, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. We've got a lot of changes this month, and I'm going to go through those with you here shortly. So let's go ahead and talk about February 1st. So our goal is to live on $3,952. And yeah, that might seem like a lot. It is, or it might seem like a little, just kind of depending on, what you normally think that you can live on. For me, it is tight. I'll be honest with you. It's not that easy to live on Social Security. It's definitely more than the poverty line, but it is not that easy to live on it, especially now that we're back in the city, and now I'm actually buying food for more people than just me and Lonnie. So we'll talk about that in the March update, the March budget planning part of the video, now that things have changed. But for February, for the most part, Lonnie and I were living in an RV. We did take one vacation. Now that vacation was paid for with points and a companion pass that I had, so I had no plane ticket price, really. And, there's like $11 per ticket or something like that. I had a car rental that was put under the entertainment budget, and then I had a timeshare that was already paid for the year. So that's how we did that. But honestly, we did really good this month. I'm quite surprised. I also want to share with you that I have a ton of tips on how I can, use gift cards and free money that I, get, and I use that throughout the month sometimes as well when I just want to have something special, or I want to do something, I'm looking for this extra money. So this month I found about I want to say really close to $1,000 in free money. So I'll do a video on that so you can see how do you get free money, and how do you figure that out? Where is it? I was actually surprised. I actually had, I think, $178 in one of my accounts that I didn't even remember I had. So it was really nice to be able to find that. So I'm going to just kind of go through, I'll do another video. So if you like that kind of stuff, subscribe, and I will go through how I found $1,000 for free this month. So that's not reflected in this budget. This budget is the money that I have spent. Now, if I get free money, just like in retirement, and I got free money, well, that would just be free money, right? It wouldn't be part of my budget. So some of you guys like to include your free money in your budget. I don't do that. So let's go ahead and talk about how we did this month. So the first thing is, I talked a little bit about our estimate. $3,952 is what we're working with. Our property tax in the RV was $50, and that's how much it cost. I budgeted $100 for electricity. It cost $94.71, a difference of $5, which is great. We used a lot of electricity. We could have probably used propane, because the month before I bought excess propane, but we decided to use the electricity we were kind of testing to see how often we had to go get propane, because it's a little bit time consuming it's kind of a hassle to get propane because we were using 5-gallon tanks. So we went with electricity in terms of using that to heat up the RV this month. So it was a little higher than I would like to see it, but still under the budget. We didn't get propane because we had the month before bought propane, and so that was included in the previous month's balance. Our internet was $165. It's not going to be $165 moving forward. So, but that difference was $0. We're no longer going to be using Starlink, as we have moved up to the city. For those of you guys who are wondering what happened to us and why we have to move up to the city, I have another video for you. One of the last 2 videos about what has been going on and why we had to move up to the city. And there's also another video on prepping for a layoff. So if that's not a teaser, if that doesn't interest you, I don't really know what will interest you. So That's what's going on. Trash was 25, so it was 25, so there's no difference there. Cell phone was $50. So our cell phone is from Visible by Verizon, and it includes all the taxes. And when I got my cell phone last year, they said I would get a additional $250 in credit, or Amazon gift card, I think is what it was. And so that Amazon gift card came in this month. That's actually also part of the $1,000. I may have gotten more than $1,000 this month. So, stay tuned for the video on that. Groceries, our budget was $700. We spent $616. I'm really surprised because we did go on vacation that these numbers aren't higher. So I'm really happy about it. Restaurants were $200. We spent $122, which again, when we were going, we were going on that trip. So I expected that to be higher, but it wasn't. So we saved $78 there. Homeowners insurance for our RVs, $42. Car insurance was $100, and I saved this in a bucket, and whenever car insurance is ready to be paid, that's what I pay. Gas was $330 budgeted, but I spent $333, which is actually not bad considering that we had not planned to move back up to Phoenix. And now that we're moving back and forth and, trying to get everything situated from Tucson, everything moved up to Phoenix, RV and storage, all of that, like multiple trips. I think we took 6 trips back and forth. 3 total round trips to get everything we needed to do the move. And we did that move in a span of 2 weekends. So that was intense. And then we also organized our house in the span of a weekend, and that was also intense. So things have been pretty intense. Our gas is a little bit high this month, kind of reasonable for that. Otherwise, it would have been much lower. We had car maintenance. Oh, no, I planned on doing the oil change for my car, and I didn't do it. It's actually still not needed. So once I hit the number on mileage, then I'll do it. So I'm just going to push that to next month, and then hopefully that $25 will get me what I need for my oil and filter. And if not, I do have some extra money that we'll talk about here in a minute. Medical insurance was $600. That's what we paid. Medical prescriptions was budgeted at $100. We paid $261. So disappointed in the amount of medical prescriptions I have had this month. I didn't anticipate them. I had a couple things that I had to work through. Thank goodness for Teladoc, so I didn't have to pay too many copays, but the Teladoc has really worked for me this month. And I've been able to save on the copay for seeing a doctor, but I have been having to pay for prescriptions. So hopefully we get things cleared up and my prescription budget won't be too out of whack, but it was $161 over what I had planned, which was a total bummer. But we did save on the medical copays. Thanks to Teladoc, I budgeted $100 and spent $50. For household and personal items, I budgeted $100. We only had to spend $41. And that doesn't mean that we didn't do some much needed work here at the house. We do have to do much needed work here. Luckily, I've been able to use that money that I've been finding. So we did get like $400 in Home Depot gift cards this month, which was really helpful to pay for that. Now, if things break, it becomes a problem, right? If we're trying to live under Social Security and that's all I have, and there's no free money, then how do I make those payments? That's part of the challenge, right? It's part of going through this exercise to see like, wow, how much should I save? How much extra money do I need up and above Social Security in the future? Or, can I live and have a great life with Social Security? That's what this whole challenge is about. So we'll see. We'll see. It's a fun experiment. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend you try it. And let me know if you are trying it. I would love to know in the comments, as well as if you think anything in my budget is out of line. Like, girl, sometimes I look at my medical premium, and I'm like, $600 seems like a lot of money a month for medical premiums. I don't want to reduce my medical insurance to, let's say, $400, but then have to spend $500 in copays. The next one is, let's see, household personal items. I already talked about that one. Entertainment. I had budgeted $100, not really thinking about the rental car that I needed for the vacation that we took. So the actuals were 205 and the difference was 105. So we were over budget by $100 in entertainment this month. For pets, we did really well. Last month we did awful. I think we were at 488 last month. Let's just take a peek real quick. So January, yeah. So we were 488 last month. So this month we got it under control, and actually we did really, really well, which is helpful because, yeah, I overspent in another category coming soon. So the difference was $111. Now I do feed my dogs meals that we make. So I have found that feeding them this type of meal, they just seem healthier. They seem happier. They're not as sluggish. So I feed them, basically tuna, rice, blueberries, sweet potatoes. Not tuna. Why did I say tuna? Salmon. Like, that's why it's so expensive. I wish it was tuna. But salmon, brown rice, green beans, sweet potatoes, blueberries, and then they get their minerals and their vitamins as well, and some hemp oil. So they have been doing amazing on that. And I did record a video on that. I'm working on editing, so I'll have to share that with you in the future, the specific meal plan we make for them. But it's not cheap, and salmon has been really hard to find. So this month we had to add a little extra kibble because we were unable to find as much salmon to feed them. So that's why our price was a little bit lower this month. So we didn't actually get to do all of their meals. We were adding a little bit of kibble to each of their meals to kind of help with whatever we couldn't find in the store, unfortunately. But that's the way it is. So clothes, this one I went a little bit crazy on. So, we came back up here. Lonnie needed some new shoes. I budgeted $100. Lonnie needed some new shoes, so we bought new shoes for him. He wanted to try the Hoka Bondi 8s. So I was able to get those super cheap. Well, okay, define super cheap. They're brand new. Got them at Hoka.com. They were on sale from $150 to $99. And then I got 15% off those. Plus I got 9% cash back, and I got whatever cash back on my credit card. So 1% there. So I guess that's total of 10% back. So we'll see. That should show up in the next month in terms of the cash back on that. Then since he got new shoes, I kind of wanted new shoes too. So I found Hoka Mach 8s at the Foot Locker, and I was able to get those for $99 as well. And I was actually targeted for 25% cash back on that. So again, I'll talk about this in more detail in terms of the cash back and how we get free money in another video. But if I can get Hoka's and get $25 back plus my 1% on my credit card, I'm happy. It's a good deal. So, and I wanted and needed new shoes for dance. So, Hoka's work really well for me. I do have flat feet, sometimes get plantar fasciitis. It's sometimes very painful for me to do what I love to do, which is dance and walk. So having shoes like Hoka help me to not have pain and not have to go see a chiropractor, which costs me $50 each visit. So, and if you think about it, buying a pair of Hoka's for, $100 and saving multiple chiropractic visits is actually savings. So you have to think that through whenever you're thinking about what are the things that you're buying. Can I buy cheaper shoes? Yes. Will I pay for that in the chiropractic bill? Yes. So you have to think about that stuff. I also wanted to treat myself. I have lost weight this month, and I wanted to make sure that every month that I lost weight to buy something that I normally would not buy for myself. So this month I got targeted 30% cash back at Lululemon. So I was able to get the cutest pair of mini flare Lululemons. And those are normally, I want to say they were normally $125 or $150, and they were on sale for $75. Then I get 30% back on that. So all to say, is there a cheaper pair of pants to buy? And would that have made me happy? Yes. But my goal is to look at what would I normally not do for myself in terms of reward, so that I can have something to really look forward in terms of spoiling myself or splurging. And I know that can be difficult because I know, we are facing a potential layoff. So the rational brain says, yeah, you should probably save that money. But the other part of me also says you need to also reward yourself for a job well done. So I want to keep progressing with my weight loss, and I want to still encourage myself with wonderful rewards. And so that's the choice that I'm making at this point. And we had extra money in the budget anyways. So no big deal. Can I save it? Yes. But I would really prefer to have something as a reward for losing so much weight. So I was excited, and they're super cute. Then in the next section, I budgeted $100 for gifts because it was Valentine's Day. We ended up actually spending only $50, saving $50. Obviously, giving in charity, what I do with this is I just kind of save it. At the end of the year, I write a check for either Bibles or food, depending on who. Well, I kind of do it for both. I actually do above and beyond that money, but I don't brag about that. So we do that to help people get the word of God. All right, the next one was gym membership. I budgeted $75. It came in at $48. Lonnie quit his gym membership because his work has gym. I also budgeted $75 for the emergency fund, and I was not able to do that at all. So that's the budget, $39.52. I ended up spending $3,892, saving a total of $59.34. I think really the main thing that helped us was the pet budget was lower and the grocery bill was somewhat lower. So total, I have an emergency fund running total of, so last month we were positive $275.36. And then if you add the $59.34 to that, my emergency fund running total is $334. So that's not bad. That's like actually saving $150 a month living on Social Security, again, assuming that the mortgage is paid off. So I feel really good about where we are and feeling good that, yeah, if we had to retire and we paid off our house, we could live with Social Security and live a decent life. Is it going to be extravagant? No. But can I get a pair of Lululemons? Sounds like it. All right. So let's talk about March. So unfortunately, we have had to give up a dream that we had in Tucson and now are focusing on dreaming something a little bit different. We needed to come up to Phoenix, and Lonnie needed to be in work, so giving up his telecommute job and being in the office doing basically the same job, just not the telecommute part. So all to say, there's still so much going on, and I know that the government has recently announced that they want to do 2 reductions in forces this year, so nobody's safe in the government, so we are planning for a layoff, and hopefully we won't have to execute on that plan. All to say, our budget will look different in March because now we're in Phoenix. So now that we're in Phoenix, I have property tax here of $146. You might be asking, what did you do with that last month? We do cost sharing in this family. So if I have an adult child living with me that can get an apartment on his own, then if he decides to stay with me, I do ask him to share in the expenses. So, everyone's different with how they raise their kids. I like to raise my kids in a way that helps them to learn that they have expenses in life, and this is one of those. So all to say, my property tax for March is going to be $146 instead of the $50 that we were planning. My electricity, this one might be higher than I think. I'm budgeting $50 because it's still cool. And last year, Lonnie installed a kind of an AC unit in this house that runs off of solar only. So there's no additional expense with that. That really helps cut down on the electricity bill. It really cools off part of the house at no charge, and I love it. So hopefully that will only be $50. We'll see. There won't be any propane expenses because our propane cans are full and we just use them for grill here. So I won't need propane probably for the rest of the year. Internet, $50 to just use a basic plan. Water is expensive, but it does include my trash. So my budget will be $115 for that. I really hope I can keep it at $115 with all of us here. I doubt it. My utilities, I don't know if I'm really accurate on those, but we'll see. I'll do the best job I can. For cell phone, again, $50. For groceries, I'm going to keep it at $700. I think that's what we've been doing. Yeah. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. So now that I live here with my, 2 adult other children, so there's a family of 4 here that we're feeding, but I'm still going to use my budget for living on Social Security to feed everybody. Now, would my kids contribute to groceries? Absolutely. I just don't want them to. I want them to save that money. So I would like to just make the meals for the family and see how we can do, and see if we can do it at 700. Right now, I am using only, like a lot of things, only what I have in the house. So if I have canned goods, I'm trying to use those. If I have extra meat, I'm trying to use those. Since we moved, we had to move everything up here. So Lonnie and I did have some extra frozen food that we had bought in January and February that we brought up here. So we're trying to use that. So I think that we can keep within the budget and still feed a family of 4 for 700. And I say that, not that I don't know that you can do this. You can. I'm very particular about what I'm eating these days. So I'm not going to have a $1 a day meal plan. It's just not it's not where I am in my life. And if my husband loses a job, that's where I will be. But for now, we're going to try and make it work with this number for 4 adult people. And actually, if you think about it, there's actually 6 adult people because the girlfriends are always over, which is fine and we love it. But yeah, we still feed everybody, and I would like to still feed everybody. So we'll see how it goes. Restaurants, I'd like to go out maybe once this month, maybe twice. I don't know. So I just left it at 200. It might be high. The next one is homeowners insurance. It's more expensive because it's not an RV, so it's $156. Car insurance is $100 still. Gas, I might be high on this one, $300. I don't know. We'll have to find out. Car maintenance, that's my oil change. I think it's going to cost more than $25. I just put $25 down. We'll see. Medical insurance, still going to be $600. Prescriptions, I know I need to get some better vitamins, and I know that's not prescription, but that's where I would put it. You could put it under groceries as well, or if you wanted to even break it down further, you could put it under vitamins and supplements. But I want to get some better vitamins for myself, and I'm working with my nutritionist to identify some. So I think that 200 is going to be accurate. I'm not sure. My nutritionist says that the stuff that I'm using right now is not good. So apparently store brand is not good. You know me, I'm always going for generic if I can. Medical copays, I'm hoping no medical copay, but I budgeted $50 in case I need to see the chiropractor again. I threw my back out last month. It was not good. Household personal items, $50. Entertainment, $100. Pets, $400. Clothes, $100. I don't know. Like maybe I don't know what I will do for clothes next month. Gifts, $100. Charity again, $3.95. Gym. Oh, the gym is $25 because Lonnie canceled his gym membership last month, and then I prepaid for a year for dance lessons at only $20. I know. Sometimes you can find an amazing deal. So my dance lessons are $20 a year, plus $3 every Friday if I go. So if I do go, it will probably be more than $25. Emergency fund, I have budgeted for $40, but that's going to be float. I do not know if I'll be able to have any emergency money next month. This is going to be very challenging and very interesting to see how we can make it work with so many people, still with Social Security. So this will be like an extra bonus challenge month, and we'll see. We'll see how we do. So hopefully this was helpful to you and encourages you to kind of look at your expenses and see where you can cut back and still live a life that you're excited and have much joy with. I think God provides us with what we need, and sometimes He provides us with an overflowing cup of amazing things. but mostly what he provides to us is this wonderful thing we call grace and mercy and a Savior, Jesus Christ. So I hope that you have an amazing day. God bless you, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.